This chord is a flat 7 sharp 11, and you might say this is really weird and kind of eerie sounding, and it is, but in the right context, it's beautiful. Musicians sometimes will create loops like this to practice specific scale ideas. Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be talking about melodic minor over the flat 7 sharp 11 chord. And I'm also going to explain to you how I found this chord naturally and give you a plausible explanation of how this possibly came into existence. Then we're going to review the scale, I'm going to give you some licks, and that'll be it. So every guitar player at some point or another finds this simple chord progression, just D, C, G. This soon evolves into a D, D over C, and then G. In my mind, the reason that this goes from that to that is because the structure maintained across the chords makes a lot of sense. For centuries, musicians and composers have used drones underneath of melodies or chords moving to create different soundscapes. So to me, this is a very similar idea where the A and the D is maintained through the C as well as the G. Then the next progression that you might learn past that would be a G minor. And this minor is what we discussed last week, introducing the idea of melodic minor over the minor 4, which is what this is. Now, the next thing that someone might learn is the blues. Now, sometimes people learn this in reverse. Sometimes people learn the blues first, then they start to go into more popular music, oldies, rock, those kind of things, and branch out to wherever they may go. In my case, I learned the blues later. But once I learned the blues and started to explore this progression further, what I came up with was just adding sevens to everything, which would sound something like this. So then the next thought that happened in my mind was I became aware of those drone-like quality notes that just maintain through the chords. And so I thought to myself, what would happen if I maintained the F sharp through these sevens to create, just something interesting, right? But then on the G7, switched it back to a regular 7. And that's whenever I came up on my own with the flat 7 sharp 11. Now, what's interesting about this to me is for a long time, I've been playing this progression of the 1 chord, the flat 7 major, and then the 4 chord. And the interesting thing there is that minor 4 switch using the melodic minor scale to cover that also works to cover the flat 7 sharp 11 chord. So now instead of thinking of D, if we go back to C, like I was at the beginning of the video, and like I did in last week's video, now you can play C, and then you can play B flat, and you can use melodic minor to cover that change, F melodic minor. Then you can go to F major, and then you can go to F minor, and use melodic minor in the same place that you did before, F melodic minor, to cover that change. And now you have 2 uses of melodic minor in 1 key. And right now, this is probably my favorite chord progression. Just to go C, the flat 7 right there, and the sharp 11. And then the 4, minor 4, and then back to C. So probably the place that you would hear this the most, and I know it's not the season right now, but the song is Christmas Time. At the very beginning, you hear the major 7 chord, and then it goes flat 7, sharp 11. The use of it is fascinating, and it's beautiful, and it's eerie, and it says something interesting about Christmas time, right? go back and listen to it. So the other one I encourage you to listen to, completely different vibe and feel, and not Christmas time at all, is Killer Joe. It's a jazz tune, but extremely groovy and awesome. And that's where I first found this chord, but I didn't know what was going on. But now I do, and it's interesting to listen to that now and hear that, and even maybe wonder how they came to the conclusion, and if it's the same way that I came to the conclusion of this chord, the use of it anyways. If we review the scale real quick, and if you want a more detailed look, go back in my video last week where I talk about where melodic minor came from and the use of tetrachords. To play this scale, you'll start on the 6th string and you'll go 1st fret, 3rd fret, 4th fret, and then you'll go next string down, 1st fret, 3rd fret, 5th fret, next string down, 2nd fret, 3rd fret. So now I'm going to show you 2 licks that you can use over this flat 7 sharp 11 chord. This first one is like this. Now I left the first beat as a rest so that you can play the chord and then you can play the scale or play the lick. So this lick starts on the 3rd fret, 4th string, and it's a pull off, and then you go down an augmented chord. You'll land on it with your ring finger, then you'll do a pull off to the 1st fret, and you'll want to go to your index finger from there. And then you'll do a hammer on back to the 4th fret with your middle finger. Next string down, you'll do 3, 5, 7, which is index, middle, pinky. And then you'll go down to the 4th and 3rd string where you'll do this hammer onto the F, or you'll just play 2 5s if you're going to C. This next one, another melodic minor idea, but a bluesy ending. So this one starts off with the melodic minor where we initially learned it. All hammer-ons right there. And then we'll play 3rd fret on the 4th string. And then we'll play 2, 3, 5 on the next string, which is the 4th string. And then we'll play 1, 3, 5 on the 3rd string, do a pull off to the 3rd fret, hammer on back to the 5th fret, slide up, do a bend on the 8th fret, and then we'll end on the 5th fret right there. And again, this one starts also with a rest so that you can play a chord and then you can play. So there you have it, guys. There's melodic minor with the flat 7 sharp 11 chord. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Stick around for more videos and I'll see you in the next one.